Welcome to Unbiased and On the Fence. I'm Shane. Thank you guys so much for joining. Well, this past weekend, we had our third annual International Mandela Effect Conference held in person, live in Brantford, Connecticut. It was my first time to New England. We had a great time. I do have about 17 minutes of video that was recorded in person live at the event on the last day. So I'll roll that at the end. But I just wanted to let you guys know that the talks given will be released starting about a week from today. So depending on when you're watching this, the first, it will be released a week ahead of YouTube on our Patreon channel. So you can expect about 2 weeks from now before you can see the YouTube version over on our International Mandela Effect Conference YouTube channel. And of course, you can see all of the previous talks and eventually this year's talks on our website for IMEC, which is imec.world, WORLD. So if you go there, you click on the conferences tab on the menu at the top. It will drop down and you can select which year you want to view, which person, which talk you want to view. And it's an excellent resource. The talks will be released about a week apart. There's still some final editing to do, so just keep track of that. If you do want to see it a week earlier, you can sign up to the IMEC Patreon. Make sure it's not the Unbiased on the Fence Patreon. It's the IMEC Patreon. I'll drop a link right at the top, and I won't put mine down there, so you'll know that you're going to the right Patreon on this video. And you can just do some kind of small monthly donation amount, a few bucks a month or something, if you want to receive the videos early, the presentations a week early, and some of the green room behind the scenes video that we record before every Open Tables IMEC episode. So I had a wonderful time, met lots of wonderful people. Let's see, we had Tom Campbell open things up, so you can expect that be the first talk that gets released. I was pleasantly surprised, and I think you will be too when you watch his talk. I think everybody presented very well. Everybody got their point across really clearly, and I thought it was excellent. And like I've said in the past, some of my favorite times are, getting to meet so many wonderful people. I had so many cool synchronicities that people shared with me, like with the angels, for instance. I've been creating these archangel paintings, and Joanne shared a cool synchronicity with her and angels, on top of the fact that I had a lot of Archangel Michael synchronicities. And as you know, tomorrow's the 9/9 portal where we release the new painting, which will be Archangel Michael. So I'm really excited about that. Be sure to check on my community page for a link for that tomorrow as that gets released. And so I'm going to roll some of the footage here. People are excited. It gets really noisy. It's hard to find a place that's quiet. But here's what I have recorded from the event. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Lots of love, light, and unity. Hey guys, we are live here at the end of the conference. I was just going around talking to some people. I wanted to introduce you to Cosmic Killjoy and Candace. Let's just find out what they felt about the conference now that we're wrapping things up.
I thought the conference went really well, very informative, great speakers, and overall it was a great experience, and I had a great time.
It was fantastic. I highly recommend coming.
Awesome.
I noticed how Tom Physicist looks like an architect.
Yeah, there was a resemblance.
Really
His doppelganger.
Absolutely. Before we go, I want you guys to check out his music. Tell us where we can find your music.
Yep, on SoundCloud, if you look up Cosmic Killjoy and Reverb Nation, so reverbnation.com, Cosmic Killjoy, and make it one word. It's two. I don't know if you guys.
Yeah, show that there.
But yeah,
There it is. Hope you can see it.
Yep.
There we go.
So yeah, reverbnation.com/cosmic and it's electronic industrial.
Awesome.
I write all the music. It's only me and I sing too. So it's my solo CD.
Oh, awesome, bro. Well, it was a pleasure meeting you guys.
Likewise,
Thanks
Shane.
so much for coming out. I feel like I've met a couple of new friends here.
Yeah.
So, hey guys, I want you to meet Morris here, another friend I met here at the conference. What did you think about the conference, Morris?
The conference is awesome. I got to learn a lot and make new friends, meet new people. And everybody's like, this is the friendliest group of people you ever want to meet. No judgments. You can express your opinions. You don't have to feel, like, oh, I can't say anything.
Right.
These are the greatest people I've ever met.
Yeah, open-minded people.
Yeah.
I felt like the energy was really good, Even when people didn't agree with everything, it was like, it was no problem. It was like, okay, we see it a little bit differently, and everybody has a valid point of view, and that's what I love about this. No point of view is really taken as being invalid because it's that person's experience.
We had widely different opinions. Like some people had just really opinions that were like miles away from each other.
Yeah.
But like there was no argument.
Right.
We just discussed it, and it was
Yeah.
okay.
And hey, best of all, no censorship, right, Morris?
Exactly.
Thank you, man. It was so good meeting you here, man. It was a pleasure. Another friend for life here. I'm sure we'll see him again here at future conferences because we're making a bond here, so it's really beautiful. We hope you guys can check us out the next time around. Guess who I caught up with here? I finally met him from the chat for so many years now. Joe Pulowski, right? I got the name right.
It's good to be found.
Yeah, so it's one of these people that you see their name and you finally get to meet them, and it's just awesome. So what did you think of the conference, Joe?
It was fantastic. Loved it. It was great. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah, oh man, it's my pleasure. Yeah.
You did such a great job.
What's your biggest Mandela effect? What was the one that really was like, what the heck, in the beginning?
Well, the beginning, that first one was the sun changing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
There's a new sun.
Yep, you guys have noticed it too. The sun looks so white now, and we've talked about this for a while. And you actually heard me mention it or something a while ago, right?
So a couple of weeks after I noticed it, you were the one person to confirm it for me.
Right, yeah,
That
sure
was
enough.
wonderful. I
Awesome.
wasn't the only one. When I heard you mentioning it,
Right.
I said, I'm not the only one. I was happy.
It's awesome. That's really what this thing's all about. We're not the only one. We came out together. Everybody gets to share their stories and points of view and everything. And really just the feeling of community is just awesome. And the energy's really good here. So I hope people can make it out the next time because this was really, I think, one of those note points in the timeline that we'll always think back on as being this pivotal time of making connections and just having a good time. Alrighty, we'll talk to you guys and the next person here. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Shane. Hey guys, guess who I met up with here? Paul Ellis. You guys probably recognize him from the chat. I finally got to meet him in person.
Hey everybody.
What did you think of the conference, Paul?
It was, first of all, it was just so much fun. The presentations were terrific. There were new presenters, which I was not familiar with. Great talks. You guys, the IMEC officers, had wonderful talks. Thank you very much for yours, by the way.
You're welcome.
And it's really fun to talk to your unbiased and on-the-fence audience. Bless you guys. If you ever have a chance and interest in coming to an IMEC conference, I can tell you we really enjoyed it. It was 3 very rich, very powerful days. About a lot of wisdom, but about a lot of terrific community too. And I enjoyed it immensely.
Thank you so much,
You
Paul.
bet.
Such a pleasure meeting you, brother.
You bet.
And yeah, guys, come out next time. Make these connections. They're going to last a lifetime. These are events that last a lifetime. You remember them forever, and they make a huge impact. Thank you.
You bet.
Guess who's here? Isn't it cool? I got Steffi B and Elaine both here. We were just hanging out a month ago in New Mexico, and now we're up here in Connecticut. How cool is this? What'd you guys think of the event?
It was great. It was so much fun, so informative, so energetic. I loved it.
Historic. I feel all that and historic.
Girl.
Like we just worked and made history here, people.
Yeah.
I I'm wishing that all y'all watching this are coming to the next one because this is the next alien ET conspiracy that's already not a conspiracy, right? This is like the new one, and it's like about forking all of reality.
Right.
Historic.
Soul Family.
Yeah.
The Soul
And
Family reunion.
Yeah, Soul Family forking this like history.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for coming out to the event, and it's like the high vibe energy you guys brought and the group brought that makes this whole thing so cool. You know
It
what I
was
mean?
so fun.
All right. Awesome.
We'll
you
see you at
guys.
the next one.
Absolutely. Love you.
Bye.
We are here with Cynthia Sue Larson. I had to check in with her really fast. She's about to lay the event's over. What did you think about the event now that we're at the end of it, Cynthia?
Oh, I loved it. I think it was really a success in terms of just bringing the community together, people talking with each other. I think most of what's happening isn't really, I mean, the talks are great, but it's the conversations really, the connections, and that's why being here in person. Getting to see you again after 4 years, which I can't even believe it.
It's awesome.
I know, and the time goes so fast. So maybe I don't know when we do the next one, but maybe leave even more time. I don't know.
Yeah, we're going to definitely start planning earlier for this next one, which I'm so excited about. You did a great job with your talk. It was wonderful.
Loved your talk too.
Thank you so much.
I love the fruit. Like, is this good fruit, bad fruit? What a great way to conceptualize it. Makes it simple.
Yeah.
Sometimes the simplest thing is the best.
There was a lot of fruit synchronicities that was so funny because the fruit got added to my presentation at the very end. So I was like, what's all this fruit stuff? But it was just a confirmation that you go with the flow. And, I had one presentation in mind, but I went with the flow and it changed things up. And I find the magics in those kind of random changes and things like that. And if you're open to it, you'll see magic follow that, and it's kind of like back to the fruit. You'll see the fruit follow it, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know that I put fruit in mine, but it's okay.
Right. But it's like, how good can it get, right? Are you going to focus on the...
Well, that's true. The good fruit,
Yep,
obviously.
the good fruit.
There's the
Absolutely.
connection.
Well, thank you, Cynthia, so much for taking the time to talk to me here, and safe travels to you until the next one.
And maybe we'll be doing this in Oklahoma. I'm hearing noises people want Tulsa. So,
Tulsa's a pretty good city, yeah.
Yeah, you'd agree?
So I think it's coming down to Tulsa and Nashville, maybe, or
Okay.
so. Yeah. So we'll look at that. They're both central locations. I think
that's
a lot of
what
people.
we're thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll be sure to let people know. Let us know.
Yeah.
If you guys have any idea,
Absolutely.
where do you want this? Let us know.
Chime in and pick one of those cities. Would one be better for you than the other? I know we have a lot of people in Texas, and Dallas is only 4 hours away, so perhaps Tulsa might be the place to do it.
And include some reasons, like what do you like about the location?
Yep, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Cynthia.
Thank you, Shane. Love you
How
so
good
much.
can it get? Yeah, I
Yes.
love you so much. How good can it get?
Pretty darn great.
We are live at the International Mandela Effect Conference, and my guest here is holding the mic for me here from Soul Spa University. You might have seen her in the chat on the Open Tables program, and so I thought it would be cool. She has this really cool synchronicity that she had with Cynthia Sue Larson, so I wanted her to share that story with you guys, and then we'll tell you how to get a hold of her because she is a content creator.
Yes, also a manifestation coach and a energy coach. I used to teach classes on manifestation, as well as helping people to connect to the other side, so that to know that no one's ever lost in your life. And empowerment's becoming a medium, and now I am the founder of Alternate Reality Transformative Therapy. And the way that came about is through meeting. So basically, this is the Cynthia Sue Larson story. Basically, years ago, I happened to be cleaning my apartment, and I heard a voice on YouTube, and I just never felt so at home in my life. Like, just so you guys have some background, my mom had passed suddenly when I was 11, and I'd kind of been an orphan since. Very much since. So I like to say I was raised by angels, but I had a few profound experiences that I didn't know how to put the words to. I was only like 23 at the time, and this is back then. It's not the 23 of now. So I was cleaning my apartment, and YouTube was playing on its own, and I all of a sudden kept feeling more and more at home with whoever was speaking on the screen. Between the resonance of her voice to what she was saying, I finally felt calm and at peace. And after it just got more and more, finally I turn around, I look at the screen, and it was as if I'm watching my mother, who passed away when I was suddenly 11, on the screen. So I froze until the video ended. I was bathed in chills. I then made my way to the computer where I was frozen with chills for a really long time again. And I thought, okay, I don't know how to even fit that in my brain, but I should reach out to her about my other metaphysical experience, which was pretty 5D and inexplainable a few years prior. Because who else do I reach out to? She happens to be covering alternate realities and stuff. There's literally nobody else to reach out to. So when I scrolled down to find out her contact info, she happened to post it on my mom's birthday, which stood out. We exchanged a few emails, and I did sidebar, you happen to look like my mom, and it's been fun. 7 years later or so, it's 2020, and I had this deep ESP innate fear in me about a breakup that ended up happening, and that I thought, whether this happens or not, I don't like this feeling. So I thought, I'm gonna put my fishing rod of intention out there. How would it feel to not have my happiness, or whatever this is where this wouldn't be so important in my life? Why does this weigh in so much? I started to do an alternate reality meditation. The guy didn't get into 2 words of even introducing himself before I got what now I know is a download. It was literally feels like it took the space of a speck of sand or less, and the time of a fraction of a second or less, but yet a whole world. And when I opened my laptop for the first time in years, and 17 pages poured out of me that was not for my creativity, and it happened in seconds. And basically, I felt a me. There was a me that existed where my mom hadn't passed. And to the average person, this person looks like they're living an average dull life. But to me, the feelings I felt from that girl, I didn't know existed. Because I didn't realize, despite all the self-work and everything I've done and helped people with, which, we all deserve medals for what we've gone through in life and how we've overcome it, and that's why we have these radiant rainbow gifts, etc., which is great. But in that life existed a stability in me that I didn't know existed. See, the instability in this life since my mom passed created these gifts and these abilities and everything that now I'm here helping you with, right? But in that life I didn't need to, because I always at least had my mom, and I was a very different individual. And the differences were very blatant. And there's pros and cons to each, but what I derived from it was there was something in there, this stability. For me, it was that if you could spend 20 years of therapy and not know, you can have the words to describe it, you could read about it, but you don't experience something you've never experienced before to that level until that happens. And yeah, it was what some would call one of the worst weekends of their life that transpired after that. It was the breakup, but I always knew this is also one of the best weekends of my life, because it gave me this divine gem that was so transformative that I knew I have to help people with this. And there were so many synchronicities that I'm getting chills just thinking about it. But what ended up happening was, I was like, wow, a reality where my mom's alive. Well, either way, let me help people with this. So I started looking up, do other people have these experiences? I looked up alternate realities on YouTube. Cynthia shows up after years. And basically the resolution is so clear now with cameras that now she looks even more like my mom. Keep in mind, this is the first time I'm seeing my mom move since age 11. Okay, so however many years passed by, over 20 something years. So I am frozen, and basically, I had to listen to her for the content though, but even that I had to limit. I could only do so much because the synchronicity she was saying and animating from my mom and the jokes that would appear in my mind, because how else do you resolve such a thing, right? So eventually towards the end of the year, my partner and I did a stream of videos for the channel, we were on the 7th in a row. We were drinking. I thought, let's do this for fun. I mentioned the Cynthia story, and I happened to be chatting in IMEC, and someone saw something, and she found my video, and she reached out to me through my old email, my new email, and yeah.
The rest is history.
I mean, there's so much more to it, but here I am, and this is why alternate realities are not only important to the expansion of consciousness out there, but can be so helpful to you. It just adds an option of transformative therapy that maybe wasn't there before. So sorry to have kept that a little long, but
Oh, it's okay. Let's tell people how to get a hold of you.
Okay, I am at Soul Spy University on YouTube, and I actually have a second comedic channel coming out called Cottage Comedy Barn. So subscribe to both, and my contact info is in the descriptions of those.
Awesome. Thank you so much.